Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Driven by speed. Grid Theory Racewear.
What is up, everybody? We are here live at, I can't pronounce the track name, Hockenheimring. Yes, Hockenheimring with Poke Motorsports GT3 Racing. This is the first live stream for these guys. These guys have been going at it for quite a while in the GT3s. And as I finish up qualifying here, we're going to hop on board and see what is going on in qualifying with the Poke Motorsport King. Hope you all are having a fantastic night and are looking forward to some GT3 racing here at Hockenheimring. As we do have a few guys still on track, we'll hop here with Florida Man. Florida Man having a good qualifying so far with a 137.724. Right now he's out there and it looks like he put in a green sector 1. See if he can improve his time. As it comes around that tight hairpin or tight right turn. As he's about to finish up sector 2 here. Can he improve on sector 2? He does not. Florida man in that McLaren. The green, blue, purple, and pink as it fades back kind of gives me that mystery van vibes from Scooby-Doo. As he has somebody wrestling an alligator on his car. He improves his time and takes pole position over Chuck. Let's see if we have Chuck on. Chuck is done. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle with Chuck as he is racing in a MAV Motorsport Porsche. Chuck with a 137.3, looking to improve. First sector looking fairly good as he's coming through the second sector and does not improve on the second sector. He's going to have a bang up of a third sector as it looks like he might have went off track there. He's really whipping that Porsche around like he owns the thing. As Chuck does not improve on qualifying. And it looks like that might wrap it up here for qualifying as we close out the final minute of qualifying. Let's go back to the grid presentation and talk about what we have going on here, or the pre-race info. We are at Hockenheimring Grand Prix. This is in Germany. It's 35 degrees Celsius, which for us Americans, I don't really know. Let's see if we could switch that so we could see what we're looking at. Sorry about that, guys. It does not look like it's going to update right now. Sorry, just getting some quirks out here. Yeah, it's not going to fix itself right now. So we are looking at 21 degrees Celsius with a 45% humidity. Partly cloudy with 3 kilometers an hour winds. Here on this beautiful day in Hockenheimring. As we go over to the grid presentation and see how everybody stacked up. We got Florida Man in P1, Chuck in P2, Joseph Hook, the newcomer for GT3s, in P3, Deadpool in 4th position, General in 5th position, Michael Tanagretta, or as they like to call him, the other Mike, in 6th, Luke in 7th, 8th we have Fluff, what a name. 9th we have Sham, and 10th we have Whiskey, followed by Shane Stern, rounding out the drivers on grid. As we hop on to the grid presentation, or to them gridding up behind the safety car as we get ready to go live for some racing. We have a 45-minute race with a pit stop. These guys have to stop, refuel, choose how much fuel they want to put in, when they should fuel, and if they're going to put on tires. I would say they probably don't have to put on tires with such a short stint, but they definitely will have to stop for some fuel. And that pit stop timing is going to play a big factor on where people finish on this race tonight. you guys don't know, this is your broadcaster Tony here with Grid Theory Productions. We are just getting up off the ground with our broadcasting. And if you're interested in having a broadcast for your league, hit us up. We will work out the kinks and we will try to give you the best possible broadcast we possibly can. As we get around here for the pace lap for the first Slowpoke Motorsport GT3 live event. Again, Florida man with that lovely colored car. A guy wrestling a gator. If you guys don't know, Florida is known for their gators. And he just wants to make it known that he's not afraid to wrestle some gators. Maybe that's what he thinks of behind the wheel of that car. And Chuck in that Mav Motorsport with Wolf Racing on the rear end of that car, looking sharp, stealthy, ready to go. Deadpool and his Mercedes, Joseph Hook and the McLaren, Greta and a Porsche as well, General and a McLaren. We got quite a few McLarens, 2 Porsches, 2 Chevys, an Aston Martin, and a BMW in the back. As we go green here, Florida man getting the jump on Chuck as he takes the lead and is off to the races. Chuck right on the bumper of Florida man. I know Chuck is looking to win. He's one of the faster guys out here in the GT3 league. As we have a spinner, Michael Greta goes off track there and spins his car around. Let's take a look back at what happened there. It looks like he just loses the back end. I don't know what happened there. But let's hop back up here with the leaders. Florida man and Chuck pulling away from the pack, creating a bit of a gap. Let's hop on board with Florida man and see what he's seeing in that McLaren. As you can see, this is somewhat of a technical track with a lot of sharp rights. He looks like he has that car dialed in tonight, keeping it nice and grippy. As we hop back here with Chuck. And the Porsche. The Porsche looks like it has a bigger window. A little bit easier to see what's going on. Chuck is keeping Florida man right in the grasp of his hand, making sure he doesn't get too far away from him as he gets a little loose there. This track is very technical, guys. Very tight. Not a lot of room to open the car completely up. You kind of have to be on your A game when it comes to this track. head back out with the regular view, and we'll head back to Joseph Hook, who is leading the second pack. Or actually, Deadpool is leading the second pack. Joseph Hook in P4 right behind him. Ooh, Joseph Hook is getting a little love from the other McLaren, the General. General showing him a little love because this is Joseph Hook's first time on track with these guys, and maybe General wants to show Joseph that he has to earn his spot on this grid with these GT3 racers. Joseph Hook comes from the Mazda MX-5 community, races in another series I broadcast called The Proving Grounds. One of the faster drivers in the MX-5, and he kind of wanted to see if he could hang his hat with some GT3 racers. So he decided he was going to come out here with Poke Motorsport and see if he could hang tight with these guys. It looks like General's kind of pulling away from, or Deadpool is kind of pulling away from Joseph Hook in general. And General's trying to find his way by Joseph Hook with this tight track. There's not a ton of passing opportunity. Maybe here on this straight, if General could find some time to pass, as General goes wide to try to make the pass on the outside, cuts back underneath. Is he going to make the move and make it stick? It looks like he might, as Joseph Hook now has the inside on the next turn, and he takes that fourth position still. Is General still there trying to make a move? And it looks like Joseph Hook might just be giving it up there as Luke takes out General. And Sham and Whiskey go by. Oh no. Let's go back and see what happened there. Oh. Don't know why that happened. Let's go full. See what happened as they collided here. Don't know what happened. Looks like he might have just kind of got into the back of him here. Yep. Missed his braking point, and that Corvette came right into the back of General and sent him flying into the wall. We know General is not going to be happy about that one. So we get back to the live race here. Joseph Hook trying to hang on to Deadpool. Let's hop back up here with your leader, Florida Man. Creating a little bit of a gap on Chuck. It's really hard not to call him by his real name. These guys like to use nicknames in this league, so for now we will just call him Chuck. But I know him as something else. As you can see, part of his name on the back end of his car, Wolf. He is also a fairly good MX-5 driver. Part of the other league I host as well. Was leading that race last week and had a mishap on the final lap and ended his night after 45 minutes of racing. Chuck really trying to hold on to Florida Man and not letting him have too much, but Florida Man does have about a second gap on Charles or Chuck. let's hop back here with Michael Tannegretta. See if he is... Looks like he's making up ground and catching up to Luke after his spin on the first lap. Tannegretta also rocking the Porsche. Kind of that chrome looking, but also some kind of special pattern going on that car. We have 45 minutes, guys. We will be racing for quite a bit here. As we head back up here, let's check on Shim, see if he's made any progress on Joseph Hook. Oop, don't know what happened there, but that was weird. Sham rocking the KFC Corvette. Well, KFC must be a sponsor of his, of course. That Corvette is looking quick around this track. Can he close the gap on Joseph Hook and make it past him? Only time will tell. Joseph Hook, since he is a newcomer to GT3, he's going to have to learn how to pit stop today, and that's not normal for us MX-5 drivers that really enjoy the MX-5. There's not a lot of pit stops that go on in the MX-5 unless you crash. Then you go to the pit. And it looks like Deadpool has created a bit of a gap between him and Joseph Hook. Deadpool rocking that Mercedes. The Merc. What is up, Gregorio? Glad to see you in the chat. Let's hop back up here with our leader, Florida Man. Building a little bit more of a gap on Chuck. I think it's the alligator that's making him faster. Oh, and if you look very carefully, he does also have a snake on there. Right in the wheel well area of the car. Florida Man really pushing that McLaren right now. Still building a gap on Chuck. Looks like the McLaren's a strong choice for this track. Something about this league, though, guys. When you start a season in the GT3, whatever car you pick, you have to stay with for the rest of the season. So you have to be very smart at the beginning of the season to pick the correct car. And right now, I know Florida Man's super happy that he picked this McLaren, as he has now built a over 2 second gap on Chuck. But will that pace hold up in the later portion of this 45-minute race? For my viewers right now, if you had to choose a GT3 car to be stuck with for an entire season, what GT3 car would that be? Would it be the McLaren? Would it be the Porsche? The Mercedes? The Corvette? The BMW? The Aston Martin? We also have an Audi and a Mustang as well. Also an Acura NSX GT3 that is not currently on this track. Let's check in here with General after his crash. It looks like he is trying to catch back up to Fluff. And he might just do it. I know he has to be yelling at Luke not to make sure he hits him again. To make sure he does not hit him again. Correction there. As we hop back up with Florida Man. Still has about a 2-second gap on Chuck. Chuck has shaved a bit of time off of there. Not too much. Maybe about 2/10 of a second. But every 10th counts when it comes to racing. And it looks like Chuck is weak through this section as Florida Man pulls back that 2/10 of a gap and extends it to 3/10. Florida Man at a 2-second and 2.3 second gap, 2.4 second gap on Chuck. It looks like we had Luke crashed again. Let's see if I could take a look at that. Don't know what's going on there, but it's not letting me view Luke there. Let's see what happened to Luke. As we go find what happened to Luke. Don't know what happened there. It's not what I wanted, guys. Anyways. Let's see what happens from this view. Oh, it looks like he catches the dirt. Spins out. As we hop back up here with Florida Man. Driving away. Driving away. Chuck clawing some time back yet again. Hopefully he could keep clawing that time back, and we can see a little bit of a battle for first place. I want to see that exciting finish. As we are just about 20 minutes into the race. If you guys are interested in racing GT3s in a league like this, structured in a 45-minute time with one pit stop, one mandatory pit stop, this is the league to do it in. They take it serious, but not too serious, and they love to have a good time, joke around, and race hard. Florida man just driving away with it. Driving away. Let's hop back to our second pair of drivers, Joseph Hook. Actually, three. As we look at the battle focus here, it's Joseph Hook, Deadpool, and Sham all wanting that final podium spot. We will see how Joseph holds up in the pit stop window. Joseph is not too far off of Deadpool, about a second. If he could just keep that gap nice and tight as he can, things might work out in his favor if Deadpool makes a hiccup going into the pit, or he just comes out of that pit swinging and makes things happen. It could still be his race for third place. As Sham just goes flying off the track. Don't know what happened to Sham. That was a bit wild there. Can we view that again? Not from the camera angle I want. As you can see, he just overdrove that corner thinking he could make it past Joseph Hook and sent himself into oblivion. As we hop back, let's hop back here with Michael Tannegretta, as he's all by him lonesome out there. Currently sitting in 7th position. Made it past General and Luke and Whiskey. It looks like Michael Tannegretta decided to pit already and came back out. Let's check on Chuck up here in P2. Chuck has closed the gap a little bit on general. Now just under 2 seconds. Chuck usually loses time in that sector to general, or to Florida Man. I'm sorry. Correction. I think Chuck has decided he's going to turn that Porsche up to 100 and let it eat. As he is closing that gap ever so slightly. Let's hop up here in this view with Chuck. As you can see him push that Porsche from this angle to its absolute limits to try to close that gap on Florida Man. He is shaving that time down. At one point, he was down 2.3 seconds, 2.4 seconds, and is now down to a 1.5. As we get on board with Chuck, again in this Porsche. Chuck takes that curb, shows it who's boss. Come on, Chuck, close that gap. Put the pressure on Florida Man. I am a little bit biased towards Porsches. I do like the Porsche just a little bit more. So I'm hoping he closes that gap as he's down to a 1.3. Can he do it? Every lap, time is coming off. I'm thinking Chuck has found his groove. Down to a 1.2. As you can hear that Porsche whining and those tires screeching through the turns. Come on, Chuck. As they go into the pit stop, right here's. This could be interesting as we are on board with Chuck as we go in for the pit stop. And this is what it's like, guys. They got to stop. They're going to get fuel. And they're going to be back to racing. Who's going to get the faster exit? Let's see whose team is faster in the pits. And it looks like Chuck is going to get the exit and gets past Florida Man into first place. Let's go, Chuck. Let's see if Florida Man can put the pressure on Chuck, though. Maybe Florida Man was being conservative with his fuel. And that's why Chuck was able to claw back so much time. I don't know. Chuck looked like he was dialed in. And he made that pit stop work for him. As Florida Man is on his bumper. As you can see, people, this is iRacing. You can drive right through somebody in the pits, as we saw Chuck do. In real life, that wouldn't happen, and Florida Man might have gotten a jump on Chuck if he had to go around. But Florida Man doesn't care. He is going to make Chuck work very hard to hold on to first place. If there's anything I know about Chuck, he will not lay down and die. He is going to work his tail off to hold that first position. And he'll do just about anything to make sure he is in a fighting spot for first place. As these two battle it out, we'll hop back here with Joseph Hook. Joseph Hook is still right on Deadpool. Just about 2 seconds back. As there's nobody behind them as of right now. Fluff is about 24 seconds back, followed by Sham and Michael Tannegretta. Michael Tannegretta will be in a spot to fight very soon. If he could get that Porsche to work for him like Chuck is, he might be in a spot to put a little pressure on Sham and Fluff. As those two duke it out. Sham in that Corvette. Fluff in the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin is not an easy car to drive. Sham is throwing that KFC sponsored Corvette all around this track. Michael Tannegretta slowly closing the gap on them. As we hop back up here with your previous leader. Now second place driver, Florida Man. About 6/10 back on Chuck. And that black Mav Motorsport Porsche. As Chuck goes wide, hopping over that curb. Chuck is throwing that car every which way to try to pull as much speed out of it as he can. He does not want to lose first place. We are about 33 minutes into this race, guys. We have 12 minutes left to go. Can Florida Man get his rightful spot back in P1? Or can Chuck hold that Gator off? Can he wrestle the Gator Man? I don't know. I tell you what, I do know something. I would not wrestle a gator. I do know somebody that does. And he thinks it's fun. And people call him up from just about anywhere to come handle their gator business. Chuck is pushing that Porsche everywhere right now, guys. As of right now, it looks like we have Whiskey, General Luke, and Shane Stern all out of the race. Sadly, Michael Tannegretta at the rear of who is left with the racing. As he is about 3 seconds back from Fluff, slowly closing that gap. If he could pick up the pace, he might be in contention for 5th or 6th position before the end of this race. With just under 10 minutes left, it's going to be a big ask, but I think Michael Tannegretta could pull it off if he locks in and does what he needs to. Michael Tannegretta wanting to redeem himself after that spin early in the race. Trying to push that Porsche to his absolute limit. Michael Tannegretta is running 139s. Sector 1 at a 21.3. Can Michael Tannegretta rope in Fluff? He is back down to 4 seconds back. Don't know if it's going to be enough as we hop back up here with Florida Man. Florida Man putting the pressure on Chuck. Can Florida Man make it happen with just under 7 minutes to go? So he makes the move towards the inside. It's just a fake. And Chuck is holding on to that P1 position as we officially have a battle for first place. It's nice to see this battle unfold for the final few minutes of the race for P1. As we look back into the field, we got Deadpool currently sitting in third, followed by Joseph Hook about 5 seconds back as Florida Man tries to go the long way around. Couldn't make it stick. Chuck holding him off. Florida Man pushing that McLaren to its absolute limit to try to get Chuck right now. Chuck in that stealthy black Mav Motorsport car, holding that Gator wrestler off. I don't know. It looks like Florida Man's going to be making the move on the inside of Chuck. Chuck holds him off. Florida Man slots in back behind him again. He knows that he needs to be in front of him when it comes to that second part of that those turns right there, because when you get to the second part, if you go the inside on the first, you will be on the outside on the second portion of the turn, leaving you vulnerable and losing the position regardless. So Florida Man's going to have to be precise on where he makes this move to try to get that P1 position back from Chuck. And Chuck is going to be on his A game defending and holding off Florida Man. Florida Man doing everything he can to try to find a way to get past Chuck, but Chuck is really holding on to some good speed right now. This battle for first right now. Chuck and Florida Man going toe to toe. When it comes down to the final 3 minutes here at Hockenheimring. Will it be Charles, Chuck, or will it be Florida Man? Chuck with that magnificent pit stop in the Porsche that has gotten him back up into first position. And it looks like Chuck might just hold him off. I am so focused on this front two, but it does look like Florida Man is falling back, and Chuck might just seal the deal here in the next lap. making him the winner of Hockenheimring. And if I'm saying that wrong, guys, I apologize. I'm not German. Chuck with a bang up performance. Looks like he is going to seal the deal here tonight, you guys. As we come down to the white flag. Can Florida Man find a way to make a move on the final lap? I do not know. It looks like Chuck is going to pull this off tonight here. Let's go, Chuck. Florida Man. You two did fantastic as we see Chuck getting ready to come over the line here soon to finish off this race. Coming down to the final few turns. Chuck said, hold on, let me show you how to do a pit stop. Made the pit stop work for him as he crosses the line as the victorious one for P1 here at Hockenheimring, as we fall back to Deadpool, rounding out the top three with a podium, followed by Joseph Hook in the McLaren coming over the line. As we only have two more people on the track, Fluff and Tannegretta. Tannegretta with a spin early on in the race, hanging strong and trying to do his best to claw back some time. At the end, he finished 6th with a few people having some accidents and putting them out for the race. As we look at your race results, guys, we have Chuck in P1, Florida Man in P2, Deadpool P3, followed by Joseph Hook, Fluff, Michael Tannegretta, Sham in P6 or P7, Whiskey in P8, 9th is Luke, 10th is General. Rounding out the drivers tonight, we have Shane Stern, who did not grid up and missed the grid. Oop. Sorry about that. That was a boo-boo. Yeah, let's see if we have some drivers that might want to chat it up and talk about their performance here tonight. As we head over to the commentator lounge. And it does not look like we will have any drive. We have Deadpool from P3 here in the booth. How are you doing today, Deadpool? What did you think about the race?
I thought it was a decent turnout. Wasn't quite what we expected, but the race itself was, at least the front five, from what that was pretty much what I could see, was very clean until P5 made a little mistake and ran himself off. But shoot, Joseph was giving me a run for my money, man. I tell you.
Yeah, it looked like Joseph Hook was holding you off there for a little bit, and then you finally got by him, created a little bit of a gap, and then what was it, Sham or Luke? That almost,
Yep.
Yeah, he almost took Joseph right out, diving in on him and setting himself off into oblivion.
Yeah,
had me a little worried there.
Yeah, I seen it in my mirror. I was like, oh no. I'm glad he didn't take anybody out. But he said he wasn't trying to dive or anything. He just kind of zoned out and just missed his breaking point completely.
Correct.
But it was, I tell you, them two up front, man, them boys are fast.
Yes. I did not have the audio working for that at all. That's lovely. Sorry about that. That is a weird circumstance there. All right. Hold on 1 second here, guys. I want to get this correct because this is not working how it should. All right, so Michael Tenegretta, can you tell us what happened in your race here tonight? Talk about that early spin and what you did to try to claw your way back.
I try not to defeat myself, but each time still playing around for practice and see what worked, what didn't work. Got better, didn't spin again. Kept trying to fight back to Stam and to Fluff, and I got one or three back. I think a couple of people dropped, so luck was on my side on that one. But I enjoy coming in the back of the pack, but it's a learning curve. But I was also told to come in as a representative as well, or somebody that doesn't like being in the booth. Inform you that.
And who is that we are speaking of? Was that the winner, Chuck?
Yes, it is.
Who could have thought? What did Chuck think about the race? How did he handle the race?
As I'm following as of right now, him and Florida were neck and neck the entire time, and the only time that he got the best of him was in the pit stop. Other than that, I think it was strategic on the pit stop as well, for sure, that he came out in front of him. But other than that, there was no real room for any sort of mistake between the two.
No, not any room for any mistake there. It looked like Chuck just got him on the pit stop, and if I'm not mistaken, the course does have a faster refuel time on the cars, so when it comes to a pit stop, Chuck definitely walked out and was able to get past Florida and pull off that it wasn't for that pit stop, who knows? Florida might have drove away, but it did look like Chuck was closing in on Florida prior to that. It could have been a battle to the end, but Chuck pulled it off, and it was a good battle by Florida to hold off Chuck for the first 70% of the race.
Yeah, Chuck was slightly saving fuel in the first stint. So, he was behind Florida most of the time. I think they had a lot of time. I think he already had the plan. All right, I'm going to beat him in the pits.
Right.
You want me to drag Florida over here?
If he wants to come in and talk, he can talk. If not, it's understandable. I know not everybody is chit chat, but and chit chat with him.
All right. I appreciate the support, brother, and doing our first ever stream for Slowpoke Motorsports is really an honor.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be a broadcaster and hopefully iron out some kinks that did not follow over here from my other broadcast, but we will work on that for you guys, and hopefully we can bring a good live stream for the people going forward.
10-4, 10-4. I'll hop over there and see if Florida wants to come over.
Alrighty. Alrighty, guys, that has been a fantastic race. We are going to hang out for just a second to see if Florida...
Howdy.
Okay, we do have Florida Man. Florida Man, how was your race? It looks like you had quite the lead at the beginning of the race, holding Chuck off for quite a while, even building a 2.5-second gap at one point. And then right before the pit, it looked like Chuck closed that gap, and his pit strategy kind of worked out in his favor. How did you feel about all that?
It was definitely tough. The car was, I definitely was struggling, like the last 2 or 3 laps before the pits. The car just, I couldn't get the balance right. I couldn't gel. And I'm watching him catch up. I was like, oh, that's not good. So definitely started to panic a little bit. But, and then, yeah, he got me in the pit stop. I wasn't super pleased about that. But the fight we had after that was kind of made up for it. That was a really fun battle with him.
Yeah, it looked like you were trying to find a move to see if you can get around him, and it just wasn't there. I know there was that one sector that if you would have took the inside, it would have put you on the outside in the second part, and it just wouldn't have jived well, and you would have had to fall back regardless. But yeah, I thought you might have been like saving fuel or something towards the end there in that first part of the race, but it did look like the track was getting hot. Even Chuck was flying himself off the track there at some points, and you know, it was a good battle to see, though. I'm glad that gap did close and gave the people quite a show there at the end.
Yeah, I just have to go for it. I don't want to leave anything out there, so not going to give it to him easy. So at least got to try my best.
Yeah, quite understandable, quite understandable. Well, I'm glad you had a fantastic race. It was great to see that guy wrestling a gator on the side of the car for the broadcast. That is lovely for the people to see. It's been a fantastic honor to host this broadcast for you guys. And if there's any shout outs or anything for the people out there, please let us know. Yeah.
Shout out my girlfriend. She just graduated nursing school. She's going to be a nurse soon. Can't be more proud of her. And then shout out SPM crew. And thank you for hosting this. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, thank you. You have a fantastic night, and we will see you soon.
You as well, sir.
Alrighty, guys. That has been your broadcast here with Grid Theory Productions hosting Slowpoke Motorsport at Hockenheimring. Don't understand why we have a space there with the motorsport. I'm sorry, guys. I am my own worst critic when it comes to some of these broadcast errors. I promise you, over time, things will get better. But I hope you guys enjoyed that race. I hope you guys enjoyed that battle for first place there. Y'all take it easy. Have a good night.